I feel like falling in love. I'm in the mood to fuck something up.
So I am waiting on my interview with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota for an executive assistant position. So I have an interview at 10:30, so it is now 10:31, so we're just waiting for her to call. They're calling. Hello? 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 Or not. They're calling again. Hello?
Hi, is this Alicia?
Yes, this is her.
Hi, Alicia. This is Melissa with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota. How's it going?
I'm good, Melissa. How are you?
I am doing good. Thanks for asking. Is now still a good time for you to chat around your application for our admin assistant role?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, first off, just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Of course.
Just kind of want to use this time to share a little bit more about the role, hear more about your experience, hear more about your interests, and answer any questions you may have.
Okay.
So before I get into sharing some more about this role, do you have any questions initially that I can help answer for you?
No, you can go ahead and begin with what the role is about. That would be great.
Sounds great. So this role does provide some administrative support to management, people leaders, and associates as part of an admin shared team. This is a hybrid remote position, so there are requirements to be in the office a few days a week. As part of a shared services team, the admin assistant works based off Service Central tickets from senior directors and below. So this role does have dedicated tasks, and they do get assigned ServiceNow tickets. But they don't just support one area of the organization. So this individual is on a team with other admin assistants, and they will get assigned or they will choose tickets to complete from ServiceNow. And then that is how they support a variety of individuals across the organization. So not just an admin for one specific area or one specific director. It's really shared across the organization. So just want to be sure to share that.
Yeah.
For this role, they are working on different projects. So for this role and the different projects that this role works with, it's really important for this role to be proficient in Microsoft Office, Excel, and PowerPoint, as well as possess excellent attention to detail, good organization skills, problem-solving skills, and the ability to anticipate concerns. The support that this role provides includes just being responsible for performing basic operational administrative services related to associates and leaders related to events, meeting organization, mail support, supplies coordination, processing recognition, memorials, and then reserving space as well. They provide support with calendaring needs, coordination, and support for events and projects, travel expenses, process and programs, as well as processing all administrative transactions. They support onboarding new associates and offboarding departing associates. And then they'll research a variety of questions and follow up with those questions as well. So that's a little bit of an overview of the role.
Okay.
Hearing this, why do you feel as though you would be a good fit for this role, and what experiences do you have that you believe would make you a good fit?
Yeah, I believe I'd be a good fit for this role just because I do have an administrative background. I'm currently an assistant financial rep, which does all type of administrative work for a financial rep. And then I do have experience working with Office, Microsoft, Excel. I have a lot of experience in PowerPoint doing that. So that wouldn't be hard for me to learn at all. I also think I'd be a good fit because I adapt very easily. I learn very quickly. I'm a great member to have a part of a team. I'm very loyal and very consistent with what I do within my job purposes.
Great. Why are you interested in this role?
Yeah, because right now I'm kind of capped in my position. There's nowhere to really go. So I'm looking outside at different opportunities that I could be able to grow within a company.
you interested in Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota?
Yeah, actually, I had a friend who worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina previously, and she really enjoyed her role with them. And then I didn't realize we had one so close. I live like right down the street, so I didn't realize we had one so close. And I just saw opportunities coming available, and I thought this would be a really good way to get my foot in the door and to be able to grow with Blue Cross Blue Shield. I use it as my insurance, so I just thought it would be a good company to be able to work for.
Awesome. So I did share earlier that this is a hybrid remote role. So coming into the office may be required for this role. We do provide you the equipment you need to do the role. You would just have to have the ability to come in. We ask that you have the ability to come in 2 to 3 days a week.
Okay.
Is this something that you'd be comfortable and be able to do?
Yep, absolutely. I actually work a hybrid role right now, so I would definitely be comfortable doing that, and it's not a far distance to drive at all.
Awesome. Great. Well, I have taken a look through your resume, but would still love if you could just kind of walk me through your experience. You can start with your most recent experience at Northwestern Mutual, and then kind of walk backwards as well, and just kind of share what you did in each of those roles and the experience that you gained.
Perfect. So in my current role right now, I work at Northwestern Mutual. I've been there for a year and a half. I work directly for a financial rep, so he employs me. He kind of oversees the nurturing of the clients and figuring out what type of financial goals they have and creating meetings with them. I kind of do everything else that's administrative. I create applications for them, if it's life insurance applications, if it's investment applications. I keep everything together, as in reviewing their applications, making sure that we're on task. I schedule appointments for clients as well with my financial rep. I answer any type of questions that that I can answer instead of having it go to my financial rep. I help them with any type of customer service related questions they may have about any of their policies or investment accounts. I'm licensed in life and health, so I'm able to do a full application there on my own just because I do have my license in that. I also tend to work with clients in getting their paperwork together. We do like DocuSign and stuff like that, so I get to help them with different things like that. And then I also work with Northwestern Mutual and in our diversity and inclusion group, so I enjoy doing that as well. With this experience, I've learned a lot about financial focus regarding investments and life insurance, which I didn't have any experience before coming into this role. So that's really opened my eyes to different financial avenues that people may be able to take. Before this, I was working in a role that was a tip job through US Bank. I was doing data entry for them, for their legal department, basically doing scheduling, any type of reporting, Excel sheets that would be reporting to upper level management. And doing just basic data entry into the system of getting the schedule set up for when people were going to be working, what they were going to be working on, and who they were going to be working with. And then at the same time, I had another part-time job that I was working at doing workforce management for a call center at iMedia Brands. So with that was a new interesting avenue that I took as well. I was able to do like workforce management as in analyzing what the workforce is going to be needed for each day, how many people we had on the phones, what their talk time was, what their average handle time was, different things like that. So I was able to monitor that and make sure that people were on the phones at the time they needed to be on the phones, and making sure they're taking their breaks on time, and then just doing any type of training that they need as well. And then prior to that, I was working at Wells Fargo. I worked at Wells Fargo for approximately about 3 years. I started in Phoenix, Arizona as just a regular representative in the records department, and I actually worked my way up into being a manager of the department, a loan administration manager of the department for records management. And we ended up being a transitioning team that we transitioned from doing records management, which was just keeping all of our records from our commercial loans and making sure that we were keeping them for the correct amount of years, sending them off to Iron Mountain, whatever else there may be. And we worked our way into becoming a team that did title data entry. So I had to actually kind of basically create a new team from the start. I did a lot of project management with developing new systems, developing new different roles in the department, also developing different types of SOPs for the department as well. So that played a big role in my project management and being able to hold meetings, being able to report up to upper level management, being able to keep SLA times, different things of that nature. So that's kind of been my previous background for the last couple of years now.
Awesome. Great. All right, so this role will be, I know you shared this a little bit, but this role will be expected to have a proficient working knowledge of Microsoft Office programs. Can you please rank your skills and what your previous leaders would rank you with the following programs? So for each one of these, you can choose if you see yourself having basic, intermediate, or advanced knowledge. And the first one is Microsoft Word.
Microsoft Word, I would definitely say advanced knowledge. That's something I use on a daily basis. I use it every day. It's not much that I don't know about it. So I would say advanced for that application.
Awesome. Microsoft Excel.
I would say intermediate just because there's so much to learn with Excel. But once I know what I need to be doing, or if I'm trying to find a calculation or whatever it may be, I'm very easily able to find out how to do that by Googling stuff, researching on how to present that over into Excel. If it may be a formula or if it's going to be some type of graph, I can do that as well. So I would say it's an intermediate level. There's much more still to learn.
Great. Microsoft PowerPoint.
PowerPoint, I would say intermediate as well. It's not something that I typically use on a daily basis, but I do use it to provide presentations and to provide presentations for like management and upper level to see what I've been working on within my team previously. So I would say intermediate for that, just because, like I said, I don't use it every day, but it is something that I am quite knowledgeable of. And it's very simple for me to be able to learn something that I may not know in the program.
Awesome. Microsoft Outlook.
Outlook, I would say advanced. It's something I use in my job now. We have Outlook as our mail system, so I know the ins and outs of using that as well.
Awesome. Okay, and then it's really key for this role to have the ability to multitask and effectively complete work amid distractions. Can you share how you go about balancing multiple tasks at once?
Yeah.
And ensuring that they're all able to be completed. And can you share a specific example?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll be working at my job currently, and usually I'm doing like an application for a client. I have their information in front of me and I'm entering their data through the system to make sure I'm doing an application. It's very important that you want to make sure that the application is done properly. And then in the middle of that, I got a phone call and I had a client calling asking about life insurance. So now I'm taken away from, I'm doing something investment related for a client, and then I have a client calling about life insurance. So it's two different systems I have to use. So I would multitask by talking to the client on the phone, because I can't just let them go or call them back later. It's something that I need to take care of now with them. So I would kind of go ahead and open up my new system for the life insurance policy. They had a couple questions in regards to like their death benefit amount, their beneficiaries, and I was able to talk to them on the phone while I was still doing my application for the client that I didn't have on the line, preparing their application and answering the questions that the client had as well. Once I was done with the client on the phone, I went over the investment application that I had just to make sure that I did do it correctly, because I don't want to have that mess up, just because it is so important to make sure the data is entered correctly. So that's how I was able to multitask with a client on the line and actually doing an investment application at the same time.
Awesome. Great. And then when thinking of this role, what are you thinking your salary expectations would be?
My salary expectations would be at least $48,000, would probably be my lowest salary expectations at this point.
Sounds great. Here. Alrighty. So that is really the end of the questions that I do have for you.
Okay.
But really just want to open it up and see if there's any other questions that you may have for me.
Is there a certain amount of people, like, I know you said this position would work with different teams in the shared services department. Is there more than one administrative assistant that works with multiple people as well, or is it just one person in this role?
No, so this is like I said, this is really a role that is shared among, so there's multiple admin assistants and they get assigned ServiceNow tickets. So you could be helping a lot of different areas.
Okay.
Just based on, it's more based off Service Central tickets.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, just based off the tickets you get.
So there's currently 5 other individuals in the admin assistant role.
Okay, perfect. That sounds great. Okay. And then you said the hybrid would be 2 to 3 days a week, so that makes sense there. And then the rest would be, the other 2 or 3 days would be at home. What's the salary range for this role? Is that able to be known, or?
Yeah. Yep. So I would say with your 48,000, you're right in range.
Okay,
for
perfect.
What this would offer.
Okay, awesome. That sounds great.
Yep.
And then do you know what the scheduled hours are, or is that selective to the individual when they're hired on, or is there a set specific hours?
It's basic business hours, so like 8:30 to 4,
Okay.
or 8 to 4.
Gotcha.
Something like that.
No problem. And then how soon are you guys looking to hire for the role?
Great question. Yeah. So I think as soon as possible. So we're looking to move as soon as possible and get someone to hire as quickly as possible. So once you're reconnected here to the end of the week, and then communication should go about early next week.
Okay.
About what those next steps may be.
Okay, that sounds great. I think that was all the couple questions that I had.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, then I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I hope you have a happy New Year.
All right, you too. Thank you so much, Melissa. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, y'all. So that was my interview. I mean, I don't think that really was an interview. It was just more like, let's get to know you. Let me tell you about the job. Yeah, so don't hate on any of the stuff that I said. First of all, I was nervous because this camera was here. And I realized that I'm going to post this on YouTube. And then I don't even know, because I couldn't even have the job. I didn't have the job description any longer because I applied for this role like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then, when you don't see it on Indeed anymore, you can't find the job description. They're no longer hiring, or you go to their website and they're no longer taking applications. You can't see the job description. So that was another thing which I wasn't prepared for, because usually I find the job description and I prepare off of that. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. Like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Like, I still have a job, so that's all that matters. But I love that this role is hybrid, 2 to 3 days a week, and it's literally right down the street from my house. It's like a 5-minute drive, which is fantastic. And it's a bigger company, so that gives me more power to be able to move up, which I don't have right now. So overall, just another interview to be able to do, just get my feet wet, kind of figure out things. So yeah. All right. Bye, y'all.